Women's History Month with our week-long series, and a lot of it based on a trip that you took up to New York State.
Yeah, Seneca Falls, the national call for women's rights born over a cup of tea after some strong-willed women were shunned. They were tucked away behind a curtain at a conference in London. Following that experience, they decided to push back.
Today's idea that women's rights are human rights is a far cry from where we began. Even looking back a century or two ago, the idea of the true woman is starkly different than the standards we pursue today. It was 175 years ago. The very first women's rights convention was held right here. This chapel was a hub for people to feel empowered. Religion played a big role in this. The two dominant groups are Wesleyan Methodists and folks of the Society of Quakers. Both faith groups taking lead with abolition, already pushing the envelope.
They're on the progressive kind of cutting edge of social movements at the time. The Wesleyan Methodist Church that is founded here in this chapel is a new church in 1843 because all those members had been excommunicated from the local Methodist Episcopal Church for their abolitionist views. So they are already kind of used to being pushed around and kicked out and things like that. So I think I can't imagine that is playing out there. These are folks who want to do the right thing.
There was an all-out plea to take down the patriarchy in the late 1800s. Even men stood up to fight for women's rights.
I feel very grateful for that I live now and for everything that the women have fought for us.
But despite the noteworthy progress, there's still a long road ahead.
Our economy, our world would be massively impacted if we did not have the equality. And there's an argument made that if we had greater equality, we'd probably be financially better off.
While reading about the past, many pause, posing the question, what will it be like when men and women are truly equal? And who will be next to pave the way?
It can be average, everyday people. And in fact, that largely is what it is. It is everyday people. The folks that make this happen are not known names. Eventually, a couple of them do become well-known, but it's not the famous and the powerful. It's people trying to fix something that's wrong.
For Leah Widrick and her students, a visit to the Women's Rights National Historic Park inspired new hope for the future.
I hope they'll all be leaders in their own communities. They'll have passion outside of just their own ideas and thoughts, and that they'll be open-minded to what can come.
So in the group of students that she teaches that visited that day, many of them are working to be part of the healthcare field.
Okay.
And so at a particular time, 100 plus years ago, that would have been unacceptable for the females.
Right.
Yeah, so she's saying, they're stepping out into this profession they wouldn't have been able to step out into. So I want them to fight for what's right and for the ability to do all of the things that they desire to do.
And they probably just learned maybe at the historical park about exactly what restrictions were in place so many years ago. Great stuff.